Hi everyone, it's Brenda Quintana here. I am live today from my back deck. Last week I talked a lot about a potential flood in my basement, and that never occurred. Thankfully, the water level was just under what would have brought water into my basement. So I wanted to show you where the water level is at right now. It's actually at my fence line today. I'm going to flip this around for a sec so I can show you. Just hold on. Okay, so you can kind of see we have a little dock out there and the water is right up at the fence line, but right now it's receded to that point, so it's no longer in our yard. So I'm very, very happy about that. Let me flip it back around. Sunshine. So today we're going to be doing a Casing Tuesday card. It has a really unique layout this time, and so I'm going to show you how to make it. It's using the envelope punch board, and so it's a little different, but I think you'll love to see it. Hi Cindy Lee, glad you can join us. And it's so cool out this morning. I won't flip my camera around, but we have like a dozen swans out further on the river, and they just be too small because they're too far away. But if they come a little closer during my demonstration, I will flip the camera around so you can see them. But we're gonna go inside now, and I'm going to start my card, so come on in. Let's go inside. Such a beautiful day here. Yesterday it got up into the high 70s, and that was just awesome because we've been freezing here. Hi Janine. Cindy Lee, did your snow melt finally yesterday? Is it gone? Because ours is completely gone right now, so I am so happy. Okay, so I am going to flip my camera around, and I'm going to put my camera in the card holder. Someone left me a comment last week that I was, with the zooming in and out that I was doing with the camera, it was giving her motion sickness. So I'm going to try and keep the camera in the holder rather than move it around, and I'll bring things up to it. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully anyone that suffers from motion sickness will not have that problem again. So let me put this in the holder. Let me flip it around, stick it in the holder. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so today's card that we're casing is this card right here, and it is in the Occasions mini catalog on page 3, and it has this kind of unique overlay with designer series paper. And when I looked at it, I thought immediately that was the envelope punch board, and I played around with it a bit and the measurements and stuff, and I definitely think that that's how this was used. Hello Catherine, good morning. And then the inside piece right here uses the corner rounder on the envelope punch board. So I definitely think that this is made or was originally made with the envelope punch board. So my card that I made with it is this one right here, and I use the 2018 in color designer series paper stack, and I just kind of did the same type of overlay. This one down here is a little bit more prominent because the paper that the person used is a lighter color, so there's more of a contrast, but I really like the way my card turned out anyway. So I'm going to show you how to do this little overlay, so that should be really cool. And if you're new and you're like, what the heck is Casing Tuesday? Well, we take a card out of the catalog. Today it's this card right here on page 3 of the Occasions catalog, and we copy it, but you can change whatever you want on it, or you can copy it exactly. It's whatever you like. Hello Joyce, welcome to the video. Okay, so let me show you how I made it. Oh, and one more thing. I made this particular card with the Butterfly Basics stamp set, which is a good old favorite that's in the catalog, and I think it's sticking around after in this next catalog cycle too. So it's just a good basic stamp set with a lot of great elements in it. So let me move some things out of the way. So the card base that you'll need for this particular card, you need to do a tent fold. And the reason you need to do a tent fold, like it needs to have that scored piece up at the top, is because you are wrapping around a piece of designer series paper on the inside of the card. You see the paper right there, and it wraps around to the front. So you need to have that fold right up here at the top. So when I'm doing this, let me put the card right there in the corner. So I've taken a piece of sweet sugar plum cardstock and I've cut it to 11 inches by 4¼ inches. And then I scored it in half at the 5½ inch mark. And that will give me a tent fold card. Let me grab my bone folder, and I just use the bone folder to smooth down that fold so my card stays nice and flat. And then what we need to do is we need to create the overlay. So you will need your envelope punch board for this, but this is such a great tool if you are a paper crafter anyway, because it allows you to make envelopes with pretty paper, or it allows you to make custom size envelopes, which is really great too. So we're going to use the envelope punch board a little differently than you might normally use it. So pay attention, don't jump ahead, just watch as I go along. So to make it to fit the front of this card, you need to cut a piece to 7¾ inches by 7¾ inches. And if you don't have time to write down the measurements right now, don't worry. This information is all in my blog post, so you can refer to it afterwards. So we're going to need our little scoring tool on the side here, and we need to line up this edge here with a 3 3/8 inch mark. Okay, so just look at this little ruler here and line it up with 3 3/8 inches. And then we're going to score. The score groove is right here on the diagonal. So you start it inside here and you're going to score down. Then you're going to go ahead and punch it. And then we're going to turn this around. You're going to find your score groove right here, score mark, and line it up with this little pointer piece right here, the score guide. You're going to find that and line it up. We're not going to score again. Okay, we're just going to punch. Okay, we need that second punch. Then we've got a score line running here like this, and now we need to do that same thing over here on this side. So we're going to turn it so that we're scoring this way now. So the score line is running this way. It's hard to see. Score line's running this way, and now we need one running this way. So again, we're going to line it up at the 3 3/8 inch mark. Hello, Laura, and hello, Barbara. I hope I didn't miss anyone that scrolled past, but hello to both of you. So I'm lining this up at the 3 3/8 inch mark, and I'm going to score it like this. And then I'm going to punch it up at the top. Then I need a punch down here at the bottom, so I'm going to turn it, line up my score line with my designer series paper. I need to find my score line. It's hidden. Okay. Come here. Let me find you. It's hard to see with the light that I have right now. Okay, so it's lined up here, and then I'm going to punch it. So here, let me show this to you. Yeah, I'll show this to you. I think I'm going to do the flower side to the front. So I'll show you. This is what the wrap part is going to look like. So I'm folding along the score lines like this, and you can see how the wrap part is going to happen. So you see when you're scoring, you're going to score on this side, and then you're going to score on this side, okay? And we're not scoring it all on the ends right here, okay? And then I'm just going to put this away for a moment, and I'm going to bring it back in a second for my front layer. And I'm going to need, now I'm going to need my Stampin' Trimmer. And I'm going to level off this piece so it lines up with these lines right here. So I'm just going to bring it in. I'm going to line up one of the top layers like this. And I'm going to bring it just over, I don't know if you can see this. Let me hold it up to the camera a bit. But I'm going to, my groove is right here. It needs to be lined up. My groove is right here. Bring it down just a bit more. And I'm going to cut off just a little bit of this edge right here. So we might need to do a couple of passes on this because we're going to cut through a little bit of that top layer of paper. Let me line that up. Go back and forth and see how that cut off this end piece. You can save this piece. I'm going to show you that you can use this piece as well. And then what I like to do is I like to line it up with the 5.5 inch mark. Actually, it's even better if you make this just a little bit shy of 5.5 inches, because when we do the wrap, it's just going to be slightly below the front of the card base. So if you can make it just a little bit shorter than 5.5 inches, then that will work out really well. So you can see there is your overlay. Okay, that will take you to the front. Now for these pieces, you can cut off these little end pieces like that, and then you can go over on the other side. This isn't for this particular card. This is so you can use these pieces for another card. I'm just going to show you how I cut them off. So I just cut off these little end pieces, and then you'll have like a little bit of designer paper to do a cool layout on another card. So if I was going to do a different card, like this is just a scrap piece of 5.5 by 4.25, you could use these paper pieces like this. And then you could use another piece, a layer piece on top, and then you have a nice angled designer series paper piece for the back. So that's just a different type of card that you could do. That's an extra. But let's finish off this card. Okay, so we've got our card base that's already been cut into a tent fold. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Tombow glue and put it on the back or the inside of this card, and then I'm going to open up my tent fold card and I'm going to put this on the inside. I want to make sure that I line it up in between the score lines, and I want to make sure it's all the way up to the top. Okay, and when that looks good, then I can smooth that down, and then these pieces are going to come in like that. And so I'm just going to put some Tombow on them, flip those inside. So that's how I did this overlay piece. Then we're going to need this layer up top here. So for the card in the catalog, that particular one was 2 3/4 by 4 inches. I had to make my piece just a little bit larger, so this piece is 3 inches by 4 1/4. Now, the nice thing about the envelope punch board, it actually has a corner rounder in the top right here. So you can take your piece and corner around it, and that way it will look kind of cool. It's another nice use for this envelope punch board. So now we've got those all kind of corner rounded. And I need a scrap piece of paper because we're going to kind of stamp off just a little bit. And I'm going to take my Always Artichoke ink pad. I don't use Always Artichoke a lot. It's a really dark color, but the great thing about it here is that it makes a really nice way for me to stamp the flower and then be able to color it in. So I've got my flower stamp from the Butterfly Basic Stamp Set, and I'm just going to ink it up. Make sure I do a really good job because I want all that detail to show. And then I'm going to stamp that over on the left side of my card. So just take a moment to center it, make sure it looks good, and then really make sure you give this a good push onto your cardstock. Okay. And then I'll bring my ink pad back in, and then I'm going to use Sending Wishes Your Way and ink that up in Always Artichoke as well. And I'm going to stamp that down here near the bottom of this piece. Okay, so all the stamping is done. That was like really quick stamping job this time. Hi, Stephanie. My niece is on my Facebook Live this morning. Thank you for joining me. It's my niece, she's graduating very soon and she's going to be doing her master's degree. I'm so proud of her. Then we're going to be using some watercolor pencils, and I'm using 3 colors here. I'll be using Old Olive, Melon Mambo, and Daffodil Delight. And the way I do this, I know this is actually a water-based ink that I use, but it actually stays in place when I use blender pens. So I am not going to worry about the fact that it is a water-based because it worked fine last night. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to color in my flowers, and I'm going to use a blender pen to blend. So you're going to look at this and go, oh, what is she doing? That looks pretty bad. So I just want to add color onto what will be my flowers. Okay, I'm going to add Old Olive onto anything that's a leaf and a stem. So just adding color because I'm going to blend this afterwards. So I just want the color on here. So I'm not really doing a great job of getting to the edges or anything. I just want to add some green to this. And the Old Olive is just slightly lighter than the Always Artichoke, so it really looks nice. My niece says, Auntie is kicking butt. That's so cute. Daffodil Delight right here in the center of this flower. And then we're going to take our blender pen, and I'll start with the flowers, because the flower heads, because I think they're probably the most important. That's where you look first. So I'm just going to start blending this Melon Mambo. That looks pretty good. I'm going to blend it up here too. You're trying to get rid of those lines that you scribbled on there. If we want to, we can come back in and deepen the color afterwards. So just for now, just get it so it's kind of blended like that. Then I'm going to grab my scrap piece of cardstock and I'm going to scribble my blender pen so that it no longer is holding any color. And then I can move over onto my next color. I'm going to do the Old Olive on the leaves and the stems, just blending away any of the lines that were created by me scribbling on this piece. Oh, I think I missed the stem right here. So it has a little bit of green on the blender pen, so I'm able to move that color over. And almost got it all blended. Okay, that looks good. Need to get rid of my green, so scribble, 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 scribble. And then I need to do this little yellow up here, so just hit that. So now, if I want to, you could actually use another color too on here, but to keep it simple, I'm just using 3 colors. If you want to, you can come in and deepen maybe the inside around the center of the flower just a little bit, make it a little darker. You can come in and deepen the edges a little bit with some Melon Mambo, because usually along the edges of things, even in nature, you can kind of see like it's a little darker. So just adding a little bit of extra darkness. And you can decide whether or not you want to blend that or not. This one you can see a very obvious line, so I'm going to blend that out a little bit. Don't want it to be that obvious. Maybe here too. Okay, that looks pretty good. And you could do the same thing for the leaves, but I'm going to just leave it like that. I kind of like the look of that. The other thing that I did, Oh, thank you, Catherine. I'm glad you like this card. So the other thing I did is I'm going to take some Wink of Stella. This is the clear Wink of Stella. You won't be able to see this very well on camera, but if you got this card in person, when you turn it into the light, it will sparkle if you use Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to hit my flower tops with the Wink of Stella. So when someone gets this card, they will see some shimmery, sparkly substance to it. All right. I don't think it's going to show up very well on the camera here. Oh, maybe a little bit right there. You can kind of see how it picks up a little bit of the light there. Anyway, that's kind of the unique thing when you get this card in the mail. So we need a piece of the Sweet Sugar Plum ruched ribbon. This ribbon is retiring. The ruched ribbon is retiring. I can't believe after 1 year, we only got a year with it. This ribbon is so pretty. So if you don't have it, if you want it, you need to get it before it runs out. This ribbon is while supplies last right now. So I don't know how long it's going to last in the store. I haven't checked today to see if it's still available. So I'm just kind of measuring to see how much ribbon I need. Grab my scissors. Oh, there are my ribbon scissors. Okay. So probably like that. So I'm just going to tie this around the center. And I'll make a knot. And you know me, I like to use locking tweezers to hold that knot into place while I'm tying it. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product. Thank you, Janine. I'm glad you like this card. These are locking tweezers, and I found these in the beading section of a craft store. So they're really handy because when you squeeze them, the little tweezers open, and when you let go, they lock into place. So it's perfect because you can squeeze onto the knot and then let go. And so now that knot is like staying in place. So then I can take my time and actually tie my knot like that, and it's still holding it, and then I can remove it, and if I want to I can tighten it more, and then I can just can snip off the ends here like that. I think I tied this knot a little differently than I did the other one. I might need to play with it a little bit to get it to stick where I want it. But for the back of this, I'm going to use some dimensionals just to pop it off the card. I think you can see with this one. It's just a little bit. Thank you for the hearts, guys. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back of this card. I'm going to do about 6. And then just remove these guys, the backing. Okay. We're almost done. One more. Okay, I think I got all the backings. I always have to do this, make sure I removed all of them because you can't really see it. Okay, and then all you need to do is stick this centered on the front. And there is the finished card, and my ribbon is kind of going a little wild, but there. Aren't those cute? And so this one I did with the floral paper, and this one I did with the one with the words. And I think both of them look cute either way. Thank you for the heart. This paper is also retiring. This 2016-2018 in Color Designer Series paper is retiring. So if you like it, pick it up before it goes. Like I said before, I'll have the measurements to do this overlay on my blog so you can refer to it. I also have a supply list on my blog. And if you want to case with us, if you want to show me what you can do with this layout, I hope you'll join us on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group. I will post this link in the video afterwards. And all you have to do is click on the link and go to the group and ask to join it. And then we will approve you sometime today. And then you can case along with us because I I love to see what everyone does, and it's neat because we learn from each other, and I think it's kind of a fun thing to do on a Tuesday. I will also upload this video to YouTube if you want to refer to it back in like when you're doing this overlay, and I will I'll put all the links out on my Facebook Live, everything that you need to know about this card and Casing Tuesday after I am done. So let me flip myself around. Hi guys. Okay, well, I hope you're going to join me. Thank you for all the hearts. I hope you guys will join me on the Casing Tuesday Facebook group, and I will be back here next week with another card, and I hope you'll join me then. And until then, oh, you know what? I should ask if anyone has any questions, because this was a different sort of card. I'll just give you a second to type a question if you're thank you for all the hearts. It's really not a hard card, it's just a little bit different of a layout, so you will definitely be able to do it, and I hope you will make a card, and I hope you'll post it on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group, because I love to see what you guys do. Well, I don't see any questions right now, but if you have a question afterwards, just post it in the comments of the video, and I'll answer it afterwards. So please do that. And so I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.